Send that nigga to jail. That way. Send that nigga to jail. That way. That way. What the fuck is what's going on? Wake up. Y'all had the whole weekend, bitch. I took some time to fuck off. I needed to rest my mind. Do you hear what I'm saying? Especially since I am, oh God, I'm almost done writing this outline for the sequel. That's what I'm saying. Y'all need to go to Amazon.com and search Adrian Expression and go purchase my goddamn ebook. So, cause girl, I'm gonna need some motivation to write this sequel, bitch. So yeah. I need some time off to reorganize myself, and here I am, and we're here to talk shit. You had the whole weekend, and now it's time to be a little messy. Now it's time to be a little messy. Who do I want to? Actually, hello, girls, booked and busy. I was exhausted, okay? I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow when I record this damn podcast with Justin's ass. Actually, you know what? Since we're already over here talking about entertainment, Justin and I just bought our tickets to see Miss Captain Marvel blast these holes out. You see what I'm saying? You know, blast these holes out of the sky. And that's just going to be that. We're going to see Miss Brie Larson do hopefully what she has to do. I hope that Brie Larson makes me eat my words with her performance. I hope so. So that's what's going to happen. My skin was great. I did not watch the Neverland documentary. Just to let y'all know, like there's just so much content and shit that I can handle within a short time, especially like y'all gonna have to just let me inhale and exhale. That's what I'm doing. What are y'all doing? Okay. I want to talk about Miss Bernie Sanders first. I feel like we're getting to really heavy topics immediately. Okay, so before I do that, let's talk about something really cute and sweet and funny. Depending on how you want to look at it, girl. Can you go, girl? See, press the button, pull the lever, Kronk. The fuck? Okay, here we go. What y'all doing? Okay. Did y'all see my tweet? Those of you who follow me on Twitter, y'all seen this shit. But this was like this is what I said. This is what I be telling your boyfriend when he comes over. Okay, this is what I be telling your boyfriend when he comes over. Okay.
Put your mouth right over that hole. Put your mouth there and speak it in there. Let it all go. Come on, speak it in the hole. Speak it in the hole. I don't understand. You don't have to understand. Lean not on your own understanding.
Sis, I haven't watched the full episode. I don't even know what episode this shit is. Sis said to speak it in the hole. Sis told my good sis to speak it in the hole. Put your mouth right on it and speak right into it, baby. Let me tell you something about Miss Iyanla. I don't know where she listen. I don't know where she comes up with these exercises. Can you imagine going on TV and somebody holding your goddamn head to the goddamn, not the floor, the ground? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between what the floor is and what the ground is. Can you imagine going to somebody on national TV and somebody saying, put your mouth on that hole? And usually I would be okay with it if it was a hole that I appreciated, if it was a hole that I needed. You see what I'm saying? I can appreciate a good hole. Shit. I feel like that one girl who said, who allegedly said, let them eat cake because I can appreciate a good hole. But girl, if we're digging holes in the ground like we're, Stanley Yelnats, you know what I mean? Like we're about to take a trip to the warden or grandpa about to tell me to keep digging. Well, that's too damn bad. You know what I mean? Holes, digging up them holes, digging up them holes. Oh. Why the fuck do y'all watch me? I don't understand it. But cool girl, that shit was so funny. Iyanla asked, sweetie, I need to see your girl. We're going to pull in Miss Iyanla for a performance review. We're going to pull in Iyanla for a performance review. We're going to sit her down at the board of directors in the offices. Like it was Annalise who got called in. You remember that shit? We're going to sit her ass down and look at some of the rubrics and her curriculum books and her lesson plans that she's been planning out. Sis, Hector Zeroni tease. Come on, Erica. You know what I mean? And we're going to really investigate her curriculum. Because I don't know where she comes up with this shit. Where does she come up with this shit? Oh my God. I loved it. It was hilarious. I would never go on this show. I think y'all need to come on my show so we can do some exercise with her. What's going on, sis? I don't know what the fuck that shit was. But okay. Let's talk about Miss Bernie Sanders. Miss Bernie Sanders got her ass, I think it was, the Breakfast Club, she got her ass on there. But she's been saying this shit recently. So it's not just, on the Breakfast Club. She's been currently being asked about, or she's been currently speaking about reparations. And I'm just like, the first thing is, if you're not equipped to have this conversation about reparations, I prefer your ass just leave it alone. Like the rest of these other politicians ignore shit that they can't, comprehend and understand and dissect and explain. Just leave the shit alone, okay? Because you sitting over here knowing good and well, reparations is supposed to rebuild communities. The community is saying, among other things, a check would be also nice. And you're sitting over here telling the community that they don't know what the fuck they want. Essentially, you're saying, well, girl, that's not how we deal with checks. And I find it so funny that checks are so important to every other population except niggas and poors. The niggas and the poors, no checks. No checks. Checks suddenly lose their value when it comes to niggas and poor people or poor niggas. And I'm just, why in the world is Bernie on the Breakfast Club? Because that's the easiest place to pander to blacks. That's the easiest place to pander. If you don't want any pushback, if you don't want any deep analysis, if you don't want any constructive criticism, if you just want to blurt out a memorized ass script and blast it to all black people without being challenged on whatever policies it is that you plan on bringing to our community, that's the easiest place to go, to pander. That's the easiest place to go. But my thing is that I'm very disappointed in some of these conversations around reparations. Now, if we're talking about systems, we can talk about black people don't need to be paying no goddamn taxes. We can talk about all these student loans need to be fucking forgiven. We need to talk about like actual investments in the fucking community. We need to talk about what the fuck happened at Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? We can restructure these systems that we're under. We can eliminate debt, raise credit. Those are the types of things that will give us a fighting chance, a competitive edge. Like, can you imagine wiping debt? But what would that look like? And would people feel people who already have established whatever it is off of exploitation, would they feel threatened by that sweeping systemic change? Of course, we can have conversations about that. But girl, like we're not going to ignore the checks. Why are checks not important? That's not the way that I would consider going about. Why? Because y'all made money off of niggas' backs. That was money. Systems were, y'all established a system and then y'all made money. So we can do both. We can do both. So that's the only thing. I wish that a lot of these politicians, especially some of the ones that are running for the presidential office, I wish that they would really sit down and try to understand what the fuck we are saying. The other thing, though, is that I'm looking at this shit through my extremely progressive lens. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering if the ideal politician that I have in my mind would be even realistically elected to office because of how progressive I am and how I just want to be done with all the status quo bullshit. I wonder if my aspirations are realistic. You know what I mean? Just because we live in this country, and even a lot of minority communities are still super conservative sometimes. Like if you really sit down and listen to some members of the Black community, Black straight community, some of their beliefs are extremely conservative, if you really think about it. So that's the one thing I wonder is this if my aspirations, if my extremely ultra progressive um, desires would be even realistically possible with the current state that our society and our country is in. You see what I'm saying? Black people over 50 start to become Republicans. I mean, I believe it. I believe it. So I don't know. I think that's something to think about. You'd be surprised, Omar, you'd be surprised how many of us blacks are conservative as fuck. Yeah, you know? And so while I'm making all these videos and while I'm, presenting all these ideas, I have to keep that in the back of my mind. It's like a majority of this country is not really ready to accept actual progression and what that looks like. Because even some of our faves are very centrist as fuck sometimes, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that is you could do a whole hour-long conversation about just that topic in and of itself. So I want to switch gears here, but we're already in the politics right now. But I don't know if y'all saw this, but the toupee, like I call him, the walking, talking toupee, the tumbleweed and haystack built ass toupee, the Baba black sheep, have you any niggers built ass toupee. He is getting currently dragged by the House Judiciary Committee. I knew that shit would happen. Adrian for president, girl. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Like it would. They would not give the nuclear codes to anybody with a fucking sequence crop top on. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Can you imagine me walking out in leggings to the goddamn Oval Office? I'm gonna say, bitch, if you don't take your gay ass, girl, bitch, I would turn the White House into a motherfucking party hole. That's it. But the House Judiciary Committee is dragging these shit out of Trump. Apparently, they went ahead and requested documents from 81 individuals and or organizations like Trump Org, FBI, the White House. They've been asking for documentation, bitch. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I don't know how the fuck they think they're going to get around this because they even requested documents from people who are associated with Trump. So they're going to piece together this bullshit. They're trying to see if obstruction of justice happened. We already know that shit. They're trying to go for the emoluments clause. Emoluments is, if you don't know what that is, it's a whole bunch of shit. But the main premise of it is, are you using the presidential office? Are you using the Oval Office to profit personally in ways that are unethical? Are you do you have deals in foreign countries that you're profiting off of while also, using that persuasion to affect US policy, shit like that for the emoluments. And also something else. It was obstruction of emoluments and something else. I forget what it is that they're going for. But yeah, they're circling around him like vultures. And they see the dead ass carcass that is his toupee. And Liz Carter said if Adrian became president, the inauguration would just be a long Beyonce performance. You better believe it. I'd be like, baby, bam, bitch. Just come on. Just come on. But yeah, so I'll be interested to see. I thought that this shit would happen as soon as Democrats gain control of the House, but I guess they needed time to get their shit together. I'm glad they did, because when you hit those holes, when you hit 81 individuals and organizations with the request for documentation at the same fucking time, that's a push in the right direction. That's dumping all of that on them at the same time, so they don't have no time to scramble. But yeah, so I would like to see what happens with this shit. And they need to step their game up. Step it up. Get his ass out. Aren't y'all tired of it? I can imagine. I just have to watch him through a screen, through my phone screen and computer screens. I can't imagine having to actually be in DC and seeing this man around. Like, oh my, ugh. I'm not here for it. I also did, I recorded a video about Terry Crews. And I think as soon as I get done with this live stream, I'll definitely sit down and record it. But which is why I recorded a video for it, because it's such a nuanced and long ass topic to be speaking about. But there's so many people who have Terry Crews the same mindset. If you're not aware, he was going on there talking about, and it started from so many other conversations, but it ended up where he's just saying, well, girl, I didn't say that same-sex couples and single people can't raise children, can't successfully raise children. I'm just saying that they will be severely malnourished because they don't have the parental love and maternal love coming, and I'm just like, and I said in my video, y'all, a lot of the straight community views love it like they view products. Like it could be the same soap, but it has to be marketed as darker colors. The bottle of the product has to be darker colors, black and blue, and it could be the same fucking soap, but if it's not presented in this certain way, if it's not coming from it, it's viewed as either illegitimate or, oh, that's not the type of product for me. And it could be the same. It's the same ingredients in that bitch. So I think that that's what we have to think about when we talk about same-sex couples. And a lot of times, a lot of the straight community, like they strive for this quote unquote perfect household, and it does not exist. And these children that you're raising, they still end up being able to navigate their world and give and receive love and shit. But the status quo that this needs to be here and that needs to be here is almost insulting for people who did not have this shit. And you're saying that if they don't have it, they're malnourished, but there have been a lot of cases where kids get all the love that was available to them, and they have been very successful adults. And there have been people who have had two-parent households that are heterosexual, and they've been complete disasters. So to make a blanket statement like that, I think was very reckless and irresponsible. So that, like I said on Twitter, I was just like, straight people, heterosexual people have had control over this fucking planet for millennia, for generations, for thousands of fucking years, hundreds of thousands of years. And this is what the fuck we ended up with. So like, get it together. Get it together. I think blanket statements like that are crazy. So was his biracial kids malnourished? I didn't even think to ask that question. Not a non-toxic environment is a goal. Absolutely. Instead of looking at who's like what genitalia the parents are that are giving this type of love, look at look at how they're actually fucking treating their children. And I think that is how we'll be able to move forward to a place that makes sense. Other than, girl, if you don't have a white fucking picket fence and 2 dogs and 2.5 kids and a mom and dad, then you're going to be fucked up. Like, I think that is extremely irresponsible to say. And it, like I said, it's a slap in the face to these single parents or same-sex parents who have done amazing jobs raising their fucking kids. And I was just disappointed. I was also disappointed with how he got up there trivializing people actually criticizing him, constructively criticizing him on what he was saying. Like, oh, well, girl, what do you say, y'all? What do you say? He was like, oh, if I could say that humans need to exercise and y'all would come over here acting like I said something wrong. It's just like, no, humans obviously fucking need exercise. And humans obviously need love. Those are two things. But for y'all, it's this status quo of heteronormativity that hasn't gotten anyone anything. Especially women have been suffering underneath hetero. A lot of women have been suffering underneath some of the dangerous trends and practices of heteronormativity, as well as toxic masculinity. So Do the work to unpack that bullshit before you're over here saying that everyone needs to be heteronormative. Y'all ain't got y'all shit together. What y'all talking about? You know what I mean? So there was so much to unpack with that. So I I recorded a video on it, and it was kind of difficult to get my thoughts in one place like that because I don't know. I think that my brain is just all over the place, and to try and focus it in, it can be difficult for me sometimes, which is why my live streams are all like. But I tried, so hopefully I like what I see when I start to edit this video, and I'll release it. So yeah, hey, what's up? I don't know too much about what's going on with Wendy Williams and her. You said her not spilling her own messy tea, please. Justin, I was on the phone with Justin, and he was saying that she didn't really want to tell us the actual, like, what was going on or whatever. I don't know. I heard that. I don't know, girl. That's the thing. When you talk about other people's shit and your shit come out, girl, you just gotta take that L. You know what I mean? You just gotta take when you talk about other people's lives and shit, and then shit comes out about your life, you just have to just drag it. Just take that L, girl, because they see it. We see it. And for people, I don't know. I think that's an interesting conversation. The shade room has to do all that for her. Yeah. And especially if you know it's already gonna come out, just get in front of it. I be wanting to be a manager for some of these girls. I be wanting to be a manager. Oh my God. That shit was trash as fuck. Paris Milan was talking about this gay agenda bullshit I was not here for. I haven't seen that. Chloe, oh my God. I know I already talked about that, but I thought that shit was so fucking funny. And I think about this a lot. Damn, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Damone said it here. So you're welcome to come. I know it'll probably be around 7. Damn. Future and the plus size girl. Oh my God, there was so much that was going on. But yeah, the Chloe. Okay, I think about this a lot. I think that I have, and I'm surrounded by people who go beyond the surface level of things, and I think that is uncomfortable for people to really listen to or hear, especially if they're comfortable being at the surface, right? So I think that I do that, and I'm surrounded by people who do that. So when I speak up about shit, it makes people feel uncomfortable, and they're like, well, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, we didn't really think about that shit. And then 2-3 years later, we're like, oh, well, damn, you was right. Like, no, I see the shit before it comes. I see it before it comes. I'd be jumping up on here trying to be like, hey, sis, something's going on over here. And it may be uncomfortable for certain people. That's how I feel about when I'm talking. That's how I feel when I'm talking about the Kardashian family. Because I'm like, I don't understand how so many people cannot see that the only reason why they have certain Black people around them is to use them as pawns and plot points, like I said in my video, for their fucking shows and for their life that they edit and sell to us. So once you see that, once you approach the Kardashians and the Jenners with that type of understanding, you can see how they interact with every fucking Black person in their lives and publicly in their lives. Is literally like they're using them as chess pieces. And so now I think, I've said it so many times, but now I think that people are starting to see it for themselves. And they saw it specifically with Jordan. They saw it specifically with Jordan Woods. I think a lot more people are starting to see that shit. Like, you cannot be over here trying to drag a 21-year-old for the message on Twitter. Oh, thank you, superstar. You cannot be sitting up here trying to drag a 21-year-old for doing allegedly the same fucking things that you built up a whole brand, a whole presence doing. And it seems like y'all only have this type of energy for people that you view as easy targets, easy to rewrite their story and warp their narrative, even though, like I said, I hadn't watched the full Red Table Talk, but I saw that it was Tristan who's the one who kissed her ass while she was drunk as shit or whatever. So at this point, like niggas know what the fuck they're doing. They know they're around motherfuckers who keep tabs. They know they're around people who will spread this shit to like niggas know what the fuck they're doing. And the fact that Jordan was getting more heat publicly for this shit than Tristan was extremely, extremely fucked up. Absolutely. Absolutely. They target, they come after people who they view as easy targets, and that's it. And they can't handle their own truth being spat back in their fucking faces. It is annoying. Like she's not getting on there dragging Tristan. And it's like, why? I don't know. But that's all I'm gonna say. It's just like when you are a black person, you going around the Kardashians and the Jenners, be prepared to be used like a doormat. Be prepared to be walked all over for the like exaltation of the Kardashians or the Jenners. Like you are not viewed as a fucking human. Like you are just a piece of fucking meat that you can throw to blogs and the tabloids, and that'll be it. Black Twitter came out and we dragged it like strong as hell to the point where Khloe had to come out and say, "Oh my God, Tristan is responsible. Yeah, he is." But you don't have that energy. So good riddance to her and the rest of the culture vultures, which is what we need to just call them. I'm looking fresh as hell. Oh, thank you. All of them are hypocrites. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The back pedal was sick. She did. She put that. Oh my God. Thank you, Superstar Light. Thank you for unapologetically supporting Black women and queer folk. I sincerely appreciate you and Justin for always doing it for the culture. Come on. No problem. We are trying to just create something that is bigger than ourselves, you know? We don't have long on this fucking planet, but goddamn, we can make it easier for the rest of the hoes that come after us, you know? Now she's trying to backtrack. Everybody's trying to backtrack. Let's call March Black History Month, period. Bitch, if I was Jordan, I would go on Miss Iyanla and have her push my nose into all types of, grass and ground and shit. I would have Miss Iyanla pushing my ass to the ground, telling me to fucking speak it over that hole. I would go on Miss Iyanla Vanzant and start crying. Change the narrative, girl. If they want to play, let's play, bitch. You know what I mean? If they want to play, let's play. I can go to a red table talk. I can go to Miss Iyanla, girl. I can be on somebody's come to Jesus moment, come to white Jesus moment, with, you know, having braids, life is but a dream, Beyonce moment, have braids on, be barefoot in my couch and being interviewed with questions that I already screened. You know what I mean? If they want to play, let's play, girl. I'm going to speak it in the hole. I will speak it into the hole. Did you see the picture of Khloe dressed as a pimp with several Black women dressed as prostitutes with chains on their necks? I absolutely did see that. And I was not surprised. I was not surprised. I was just like, girl, I would honestly, it would make more sense for people to just say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Stop trying to confuse everybody. Oh my God, say it with your chest. And they were, girl, until I guess that shit didn't become profitable. So that picture was smelly. It just, y'all smell that shit? Do y'all smell it? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So, oh, love you. Y'all so sweet. It's funny how they miraculously forget everything they did to others when it happens to them. Yep. And that's why I always strive to have self-awareness as some form of it. Because you start looking like Boo Boo the Fool after a minute, girl. Yeah. So for speaking in holes. Thank you, Superstar. Like I said, the thoughts on Solange's new album. You know, Justin and I are going to talk about that for the podcast on Wednesday. fortheculturepodcast.com. So make sure you check it out. I think, okay, after taking a moment to listen, I think that Solange. So I like the previous album that she released before this one better than I like this one. But this one is something that like I would definitely need a blunt to make sure to like have it register in my mind. Because sis said she saw things that she imagined, and I'm trying to locate where they are. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that you put on to like chill out, relax. But yeah, I like a seat at the table, I think, better than I like this one. Yeah, I definitely like I took a moment to sit my ass down, and I like seat at the table better than this one. It's seat at the table to me seems more concrete, and maybe Solange was trying to go for Miss Abstract with this one, but I just a seat at the table to me connects with me a little more. You know, When I Get Home is a better visual album. I will say that. Um, and every time I look at some of these visuals, I'm like, girl, I know it must have taken so much effort to do some of this shit, like bulls and shit. You got it's just like, oh, girl. Um, yeah, a seat at the table is iconic. Adrian, I have Adrian, I have one random question. This picture that pops up every time you clap in your videos, where is it from? I'm dying to know. It is Iyanla Vanzant. I forget which episode. I don't really know exactly which episodes ever. I just see the clips on social media, and I'm just like, girl, this shit is funny. It was a clip when Iyanla was saying, "Not on my watch." Just literally search "not on my watch" Iyanla Vanzant, and it will come up. I promise. But it was just so iconic. I think I started doing that shit years ago, right? I think I did it one video, like years ago. And y'all just did not stop fucking screaming, laughing. Like y'all were dying laughing every time I put that shit in there. And then one video I didn't put that shit in there and I was clapping. And y'all was like, hell no! Where's the claps? So it's just a little Asian expression thing that continues. Just like have a good goddamn evening, just continues on and on until until it can't no more. I'm not gonna get rid of it because y'all would kill me. Oh my god! Oh, Beyonce shook. Yeah, I used to say shook a lot. I mean, I still do, but not as much as I used to. I used to have Beyonce titties. Oh my god! I always wonder how Adrian is perceived in the mind of Beyonce. You know what I mean? It's so crazy that the first time Parkwood ever reached out to me was like after I dragged the shit out on the run tour. So I'm just like, god damn. That's how my fave probably remembers me, as dragging the shit out of her fucking tour. She gonna put my ass in the documentary, bitch. She gonna be like, hey, this bitch was dragging the shit out of me, and then he came to my motherfucking concert, bitch. Isn't that funny? Isn't that fucking funny? She gonna have me in that documentary, bitch, just like she had that motherfucker in the documentary at I Am World Tour, bitch. Remember that shit? That bitch. You remember that shit? I don't know if y'all remember that. He was like, that bitch. She's walking by me in the store. She doesn't even fucking say hi to me, bitch. He was pissed and speaking to the cameras and everything too, bitch. And then he was front row in the fucking concert the next time, bitch. That shit was funny. And man, serving us. Yes, he still apologized. Okay. No, but okay. Let's end it because I need to make sure that I edit this fucking video. And Justin just said, girl, we doing something, so that means I need to get on it. But they all need you. I do not come with a hand. From the I Am World Tour. Exactly. Remember that? Game of Thrones needs to stop releasing these damn pictures of Daenerys looking so goddamn good and expecting me to be just patiently waiting for this season to come. Daenerys is the only white imperialist that I live for. Daenerys, if you don't get your ass on the Drogon and start burning these hoes up. They released a whole thing on Entertainment Weekly. They had an article talking about how difficult it was to film these shots and how they were There's always talks about how to cut down on cost and how to cut down on timing. But they said that it was no way to do this battle. I think it's like episode 3 battle, just battles in general, season 8, without it being long and gruesome and tiring. Because Game of Thrones has this realistic edge to it, and they wanted to make sure that they keep it for season 8. So I'm happy about that. I hope that they took into account all the critics and what they had to say about season 7 shitty ass writing. I hope that they took that shit into account. We don't want to see a goddamn Ed Sheeran popping up in King's Landing, girl. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. I hope they took all that bullshit into account, girl. Because aren't you tired? I'm tired. I know that I was. So yeah, they said that they had, for just one battle sequence, I think it was. Oh girl, I hope I'm not getting it wrong. But for one battle sequence, they had 11 weeks of fucking night shooting. And they said that it was so bad that the cast members, no, the crew members called it the long night. Like the 11 weeks, they called it the fucking long night. They were in mud, horse manure. Like, girl, it was a mess. It was a mess, but they said they wanted it to be as real as possible. So I'm happy about that. Cersei is killing me with this wig, and she looks like the Pope, bitch. I don't know what's going on. I know that Euron is going to be such a goddamn mess. But yeah, as much as we go up for the cast, they said the crew members really had it horrible. Like, really had it bad. But girl, I cannot wait to see it. Dany needs to give Drogon Appa's battle armor. Can we talk about it? Why is she going to, like I said, I don't know why Daenerys is going, like season 7, episode 4, she went to destroy the Lannister army with a Forever 21 dress on. You know what I mean? And a Charleroux, shall we begin? Yes, Trey. And a Charleroux ass choker, a dragon choker. Like, girl, get Drogon some proper protection, girl. If you like it, then you should have put a condom on it. Put some protection on Drogon so he can actually get into it. Yes, Klaus is daddy. Oh, girl. Okay, I need to go for real. But let me tell you, I watched the first episode of Sex Education. I'm getting my fucking life. Do you hear me? I watched the first episode of Sex Education, and I got my whole life. Miss Jean, the guy's mother, sickening. That's who I want to be. Jean is who I want to be when I grow older. When I get a little bit older, she doesn't give a fuck about any of y'all. She will have sex with y'all and keep it moving. Now the black kid who's gay, I hope that the season develops and we start to see him stand up for himself. I'm so tired, girl. Adam came in there acting like he was really finna do something, and I'm just like, I don't know, sis. I guess I haven't really experienced that type of bullying, so I can't really speak on, too much on how he should handle the situation. But I think there comes a time where it's just like, enough is enough, and either you snap and break a motherfucking face, or you find a strategic way to take this bitch down. Take him down. Take him down, girl. Watch Handmaid's Tale. I'm gonna get scared watching that shit. But I know I'm gonna eventually do it. I'm feeling really iffy about it. Tell me this tea, sis. Well, yeah, the first episode I watched was interesting. I always find it so weird when people, like when TV shows present the high school experience. I find like my high school experience was nothing like that. Like, of course, there were certain cliques, and it may have had to do with the school that I went to, because it was just a bunch of nerds that went to that school. But yeah, my experience was nothing like that. It seemed like they're more grown. It seems like they make high schoolers more grown than they actually are. They actually are sometimes. Russian Doll. Damn, Netflix is coming out with so much good shit. They're just like, girl, it's so many streaming services out here. We're gonna make sure that you bitches stay subscribed to ours. So yeah. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I watched that whole thing and got my life. I want a spinoff only about Prue. Like, at this point, Prue is my bitch. Like, that's my girl. So I want a whole spinoff about just Prue and her life and her dedication to the Dark Lord, and like, how maybe her story grows to where she starts to see that it's just a whole facade, and she's like, well, girl, I gotta live for myself. So, oh yes, Robert Sheen. How you pronounce his name? Robert Sheenan? Yes. Klaus, fine as hell. Absolutely. Klaus is me. Klaus, Klaus is literally who I am. Like, for real. So, any expectations for Brienne? Brienne of Tarth, I think, is going to be so dedicated to protecting her honor and vows and shit when Jamie says I want to die in he said this, that I want to die in the arms of someone that I love. I think that will be Brienne. He will die in Brienne's arms. Because he starts seeing Cersei for who she actually was, and I think that will play a huge part. But we have to remember that Jamie has done so much fucked up things, so much shit to the north, that just because he wants to be a better person does not mean that other people have forgiven him. And shit, sounds like a lot of people need to hear that message. Just because he wants to be a better person does not mean, I mean, that's something that, like, I think everybody has to accept that you may be in a different place now, but you may have hurt someone to a point where they don't want to fuck with you no more. And you have to just accept that shit. And it may lead to him being executed in the north. So it's just like, I don't know. But I know that Bran is too busy downloading all of Westeros's fucking history to even give a fuck. So, yeah. But okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this video so I can get the fuck out of here and join Justin. But yes, I really do appreciate you guys for watching and staying tuned and clicking every time I got a video up and checking out the podcast and checking out patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Oh, wow. Checking out so much shit. I really do appreciate you guys. Just sticking with me, bitch. Wherever the hell this is going. I really do. It means the world. It means the world. Have a lovely day, Miss Thing. Later, Adrian. Thank you for a great show. You're the best. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna edit some shit. Just look out. Probably in like 2 or 3 hours, you'll see another video up from me. And yeah, that's it. Bye, girlies.